Welcome back to a brand new Civ 6 or Civilization 6 video. I have been gone for over 9 days at this point, and it wasn't because I furiously masturbated to death on the shitter, nor was it so I could take a mental break and go frolicking, find myself, type of shit that would happen if I got caught grooming kids or some shit. No, I just wanted a break. I worked on the Saints Row 2022 video for my second channel. Spoiler alert, by the way, it was like giving a dog a colonoscopy because it was absolute dog shit. Do not buy Saints Row 2022, but you're free to check out that video if you want. But today we're back at it with the top 10 leader abilities in Civilization 6. Now, this is just going to be looking specifically on leader abilities, because if it wasn't, then it would just be a Civ 6 tier list essentially, and it's not time to get free views on low effort video content yet. In any case, like and subscribe if you do enjoy, it does help out the channel a ton, and also go check out the Discord linked in the pinned comment down below. Let's get started. The first leader on the list is going to be Catherine de' Medici, the Black Queen. Now, her leader ability is one level of diplomatic visibility greater than normal with every civ that she's met. She also gets a free spy and capacity when you research the castle's technology, and all your spies start as agents with free promotions. This is only an honorable mention because I don't think spies are the be-all end-all of any game. Like, no one's going into a game, like if a new leader comes out that has like a free spy, you're not going to just immediately gouge your eyes out because you're never going to see anything that incredible again. It's not at that level. It's still really good though, because the Diplo visibility gives you +3 combat strength in the early game, unless you're on deity or something where the AI somehow always gets Diplo visibility over you for some reason before spies. You also get free spies earlier, meaning if you play your cards right, you can get +6 Diplo visibility combat strength advantage against most other AIs, and with the agent's promotion, you don't have to spend time doing simple missions to level up your spies. You can immediately send them in there to steal Mona Lisas and steal other natural artifacts like you're role-playing the British Empire in India. Finally, you can also use them to steal technologies extremely early on, allowing you to catch up in science very early if you did fall behind early game, you're playing on a higher difficulty, or you're up against humans that play a lot better than you or something. It does help you keep up in that regard. But yeah, as a leader ability, it's really good. It's nothing too crazy, and that's why it's in the honorable mention. The second honorable mention is going to be Chandragupta with his War of Territorial Expansion Casus Belli after gaining the military training civic. With that, you get 2 move speed, 5 combat strength for the first 10 turns after declaring war, and a whole ass can of whoop ass that will be given to any civ that had the audacity to spawn within 5 tiles of you. Now, War of Territorial Expansion isn't as useful as Cyrus's move speed thing, I guess, but it is better, mainly because a lot of the time you are going to be declaring war on people who are near you, which War of Territorial Expansion requires, and with it being military training civic, it is a little longer to get than something like Cyrus, where you can immediately go, surprise motherfucker, and all your units have so much crack they'd be like the Germans in 1939. In any case, it's incredible because 5 combat strength and 2 movement speed allows you to pretty much dodge everything, immediately beeline the enemy ranged units or even the enemy cities if you want, and with that allows you to, in 10 turns, do a whole lot of damage before you make peace, act like you're, communicating in good faith and all of that, we did damage, we're not coming back, and then bam, 10 turns later after the peace treaty ends, pull out the dildo and start fucking him in the ass again. It's just that simple. And yeah, in a vacuum, it is one of the better leader abilities. The reason it isn't in the top 10 is mainly because I wish I could tell you I made this list about last week, and thinking about it, maybe Chandragupta should be top 10. I don't know, I'm just going to leave it as there are other civs with better abilities than he does, but his can of whip ass is definitely enough smoke for anyone nearby involved that you can give to if you want their territory. Really good for a domination victory, not necessarily as good for any other victory type, but yeah, that's why I have Chandragupta, as the second honorable mention. Number 10, starting off our list for real, is Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. When you build an ancient or classical era wonder, you could go ahead and get some of those Chinese sweatshop workers from Nike to start building the wonders for you, at least for ancient and classical era wonders. Build charges help complete 15% of the original wonder cost, and you also get an additional charge for all builders, and canals are unlocked with the masonry technology. Now, by far the best thing in this ability set is obviously the canals. Canals are the most important district in the game, and getting them as early as Masonry means you can do jack all, wasting production and builder charges a lot more than you normally would be able to. But for those of us trying to win the game, trying to get better abilities, the first two are a lot better. The extra builder charge is really good, more bang for your buck, pretty much an extra 30%, 33% extra builder charges, so you could say like extra 33% production towards builders in a roundabout type of way. But being able to spend all 4 builder charges to get 60% of a wonder, especially if you have the pyramids giving you another 2 builder charges, giving you 6 charges for each builders, that is now 1 builder is almost enough to build an entire wonder on his own. If you crack out the whip and make it so that he actually does it 6 times in a row, it's going to be incredible, giving you almost every ancient and classical era wonder that you are going to want. And you could even go for a game like I did a couple times where I tried to get every ancient and classical era wonder. Pretty fun. And the big thing about this is that the early game wonders are extremely strong. Stuff like Etemenanke, stuff like the Great Bath, even Stonehenge for a free religion, pyramids for more builders and builder charges, letting you build up the empire a lot faster. They're pretty strong. Not only that, but you also get 1 tourism for each wonder after every era that passes. So by the time you get to the information era, you could have like a 50, 60 tourism just from your ancient classical era wonders, meaning that's a big advantage on the tourism victory screen as well. Now, we are only looking at leader abilities, so the other abilities really don't matter much, but with China's other abilities, you are one of the top culture civs in the entire game. Definitely one of the stronger ones, undoubtedly, and one of the more straightforward ones, too. You just build as many ancient and classical era wonders as you need, after taking into account any other civs that are nearby that might go ahead and take advantage of you if you're busy building wonders, and have like a toothpick and a rock-throwing slinger as your only form of defense in the early game. So do be wary of that. You are going to need to build an early military infrastructure, of course, unless you're going for a one-city challenge or something like that. But yeah, China definitely has a top 10 leader ability, and considering they were one of the first civs released, pretty impressive considering we get bullshit like Babylon still in this game, with one ability being better than Qin Shi Huang's entire kit. Top 10 though, not too bad. Number 9 is going to be Seondeok of Korea, the Hwarang, not really sure how to pronounce that. I'm not really familiar with Korean nomenclature, excuse me. Might have to go to North Korea and get the big old Kim Jong-un daddy to teach me himself. In any case, governors established in a city provide 3% culture and science for each promotion they have earned, including their first. Meaning, if you could get a fully promoted governor, including their first, that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18% extra culture and science in a single city. That's pretty much like having an ecstatic city, I guess, almost. It's about 20% for ecstatic cities, 18% for Korea. And with Korea's abilities and the different wonders you can get, and maybe even secret societies for another extra governor, you are going to be able to get maybe 2 to 3 fully promoted ones, and with 2 or 3 massive cities having that extra 20% science and culture, you are going to be sky high, way ahead of everyone in either tech tree, unless of course they're playing Bull Moose Teddy or something. That's literally just a cheat code at that point. But Korea is definitely one of the better civs in the entire game, not just leader abilities, and the leader ability is a huge part of it. In combination with the Seowon and 3 Kingdoms, they are probably the best science civ in the entire game, aside from maybe Germany if you value production more than science. But speaking just leader ability, this leader ability is absolutely disgusting. Might have to get locked up for excessive force when it comes to assault, because you don't have to do all of that. 3% culture and science for every promotion is literally just insane. But yeah, also helps in a roundabout way with domination, mainly because enemy musketmen really don't do too well when you have jet fighters and bombers coming out of nowhere. And with that, you will be able to do stuff like that with Korea and their governor abilities. It's just such a versatile ability type, and that's why it makes the top 10 at the number 9 slot in the Civ 6 leader ability tier list ranking thing. I don't fucking know. The number 8 slot goes to Trajan of Rome. Now, when he isn't looking like a politician that's about to revoke Roe versus Wade, he gives all starting cities a free monument building. It says an additional city center building, but it's almost always a monument in the ancient era, and that's absolutely huge. That's a free building. You know, it's just less production you have to spend on stuff, and also with free monuments in every city and being able to build 3 or 4 cities in the early game, you'll be able to get political philosophy a lot easier. A lot of the culture cultural civics that you need a lot easier. Not only that, but if you settle 10 cities in like the first 100 turns, that's an extra 20 culture per turn without having to do anything in the ancient era. Sometimes the more basic abilities are the best, and there's really not much else for me to say about Trajan's Column. It's literally a free monument. It's like getting Siondiok's ability, except earlier on, I guess, and it's super straightforward, and I'm trying to figure out other things to say, but it's just a free monument. It's like the first thing you learn in the game. You just see the monument being able to be built, you build the monument. With Trajan, you don't gotta build the monument. Papuda patata. Let's move on to the next one. You see this absolute Giga Chad, one stomp and we need to send aid to Japan and Haiti again. Look at him taking supersonic punches to the stomach, a true Civ lifer subscriber, allowing his enemies to get their hits in to assert dominance and let them know resistance is futile. Is there any world where this guy's packing less than 15 inches? Here's live footage of Senator Armstrong hitting that subscribe button and the power up that ensued. By leaving a like and subscribing, you too will grow 7 feet, gain 15 inches where it matters, and 2, more importantly, not miss out on future content. Number 7 is gonna go to Saladin of Arabia, Salahuddin as the Arabs would say. Righteousness of the Faith is just so damn good. The worship buildings for the religion can be purchased by any player for just 1/10 of the usual faith cost, meaning a couple Scooby snacks and some lint you found in your drawer, and you'll be able to get mosques, pagodas, churches, cathedrals, whatever the hell you need for just a fraction of the faith cost. This worship building is enhanced to add 10%. 10%, that's double digits right there, to the science, faith, and culture output of Arabian cities. With the fact that they cost as much as goddamn Russian oil at this point, you are going to be able to get these religious buildings literally everywhere in your empire. Meaning it's kind of like giving every city 10% to science, faith, and culture output in every damn city, which alone is insane. Not to mention that stuff like cathedrals giving you free religious slots, getting maybe an extra 3 faith per turn from mosques or something like that, or extra 2 diplomatic favor from pagodas. That's a lot, with just pretty much free at that point, and with 10% science, faith, and culture, that makes it incredible. Not only that, I'm trying to do this without a script, so if it does seem like I'm rambling, that's probably why. Like and subscribe so I can afford a script writer. The other thing is, with the Last Prophet, you're almost always going to get a religion and always a worship building, and with that, you are also going to be able to spend more faith on missionaries and apostles, because you're really spending almost nothing when it comes to worship buildings, but it is only about the leader ability, and standing on its own, Righteousness of the Faith is definitely deserving of that number 7 spot. Number 6 is going to go to Basil of Byzantium. Heavy and light cavalry units do full damage against cities following the same religion as Byzantium. You gain the Tagma unique unit when Divine Right Civic is discovered. Now, technically, the Tagma is a part of his leader ability, so we're going to count it, and heavy and light cavalry units doing full damage would probably be top 2 at least if we also factored in the Taxi's ability, allowing you to free spread your religion just by maiming a couple units in front of enemy city gates. But the problem is that doesn't count, so it only gets the number 6 slot in this sort of list. But being able to do full damage against cities is incredible, although without the Taxi's ability, you are going to have to send your own missionaries, your own apostles, really slowing down the conquest by a lot, so it isn't as good as it would seem on paper with Byzantium especially. Secondly, the Tagma unique unit is pretty much a knight replacement by the culture tree, which gets 4 combat strength for every adjacent unit, gives 4 combat strength, acting as a mini great general. You put in a great general that's plus 9 combat strength, pretty much the 10 combat strength you get from upgrading your units every era. You know, swordsman 35, musketman 45 or 55, man at arms are 45, so you pretty much get a future X-era unit by about 1 era with the Tagma and the Great General, and Porphyro Genitos is a really good leader ability, and it's going to be in the number 6 slot. At our number 5 spot, when Tamiris isn't busy putting Cyrus on a leash, she's busy putting everyone else on a fucking hit list. All units receive 5 combat strength when attacking wounded units. They do not accept any surrenders. It's the fucking Eastern Front of World War II, bro. Your options are death, death, and more death. When you see an enemy unit even 99 out of 100 health, that 5 extra combat strength for every unit is just sensational. Not only that, but when they eliminate a unit, they heal up to 30 points. You might as well change your name to Tamiris, Killer of Succubi, because you're the only one in the entire fucking game. Up to 30 health points after eliminating an enemy unit. That's huge. In most cases, when you want to retreat, you just keep pressing on. You get a major victory, wipe out the unit, you're up to like medium health at this point. point. It's extremely strong, and with the 5 extra combat strength, you'll be eliminating units a lot easier, healing a lot easier, making her one of the better domination civs in the entire game. The number 5 spot goes to Menelik of Ethiopia. With his Council of Ministers, you get science and culture equal to 15% of your faith generation in cities founded on hills. That right there is like Korea's abilities, but on steroids. 15% of your faith on cities founded on hills, so unless you're blind or deaf or both, you should be able to locate and settle on those hills. And if you are playing the game while blind or deaf, god damn it, mad respect. In any case, all fucking non-essential shit aside, you'll be able to settle every city on a hill. That much is obvious. Unless you make a literal map and just make it all plains or whatever, you're going to be able to get every city on a hill fairly easily. And with Ethiopia's abilities focused on faith generation, although I just realized right now that that doesn't count, so we're going to ignore that for a second. Still, it shouldn't be too hard to get a lot of faith with holy sites, with faith, with even something like the Void Singer Secret Society, shrines and all that. By the time you get to the medieval Renaissance era, you are going to be swimming in that faith, and with that, you're going to be swimming in science and culture, allowing you to go for any victory type you want at that stage. Units receive 4 combat strength on hills is just the icing on top of the cake, especially with every city on a hill. Anyone who tries to attack a wall city on a hill is just going to be suicidal, no mistake about it. You'll be able to defend a lot easier, even keep archers in range of swordsmen if they're on a hill, because of all the defensive bonuses you are going to get, which is absolutely insane. With all that combined, Council of Ministers gets the number 5 spot on this list. Number 3 is going to go to Matthias Corvinus of Hungary. This is just insane. Levied units get an ability giving him 2 move speed and 5 combat strength. That's just like Chandragupta's War of Territorial Expansion, but for like 20-30 turns instead of 10 turns. Not only that, but it costs 75% less gold and resources to upgrade levied units. I don't know how the hell you're going to upgrade a whole army of swordsmen with like one iron resource, but it is possible. If you levy troops from a city-state, you also get 2 envoys to make sure nobody can swipe that shit after you declare the war, and you also gain the Black Army unique unit when you discover castles. Black Army being really the only good Hungary unique unit is just great. 3 combat strength for each adjacent levied unit, which with Raven King, you are going to be able to get a lot of them. 2 move speed and 5 combat strength alone is absolutely revolting. 75% less gold and resources to upgrade means you can work on your early economy in the early game, get a suzerain, levy units for a cheap cost, upgrade those units even in the city-state since you're allowed to upgrade units in city-states you're suzerain of, and within 5 to 10 turns you're going to have a mean, killing machine force that's going to be able to wipe out anyone super quickly in the early game. With 30 turns, you're going to be able to take out at least 2 civs per era, allowing you to be one of the top domination civs in the entire game with Raven King alone. You add in Black Army, I think they are deserving of the number 3 spot in this Civilization 6 top 10 leader ability list. The number 2 spot is going to go to Teddy, not Rough Rider Teddy, it's going to go to Bull Moose Teddy. Antiquities and Parks. Breathtaking tiles adjacent to natural wonders or mountains receive 2 science. Breathtaking tiles adjacent to either a wonder or woods receive 2 culture. All tiles in a city with a national park are +1 appeal. You can remove the national park appeal, right? That just makes things even better. But just the fact that you're going to be able to get breathtaking tiles near natural wonders or mountains giving you 2 science means you are going to be set for a science victory. You're going to want to settle near mountains anyway in order to get +2, in order to get really good campuses, and mountains also give more appeal, meaning if you just settle near mountains, you're going to be able to get 2 science for almost every tile, and really good campus locations, making Bull Moose Teddy probably the number 1 or 2 science civ in the entire game. Breathtaking tiles near wonder or woods giving 2 culture, and just like that, I gotta get a new change of underwear, because that is just so good, even for a science victory. You will be able to use that culture near woods or wonders in order to get through the civic tree a lot faster and get communism, ironically enough, as America, or even democracy in order to get a massive boost towards the late stage games. Not only that, but if you want to go to culture with your film studio, which again, we're not counting because this is just a leader ability list, then you are going to be still one of the top culture civs in the game, getting access to culture wonders before anyone else, getting access to conservation for national parks, which gives you more appeal, which gives you more of every yield, and with all that science, you are going to be able to get to radio and computers a lot faster in any sort of culture game that relies a little bit on science. And finally, with a couple holy sites, you will be able to spam out rock bands way before anybody else, allowing you, if you go for the culture path, to get a culture victory a lot easier than everyone else. It's just so versatile, not even taking into account you get a domination advantage because of how far ahead you will be in science. By the time you get to turn 10 or 12, you will already be the number one science civ, even on deity, number one culture civ as well. You're going to be making the most of every yield on deity, and with that, I think we have to give them the number 2 slot. Normally, they would be number 1, considering how absolutely making me gag their type of abilities make me do, I guess. But there is still one civ that has an ability, in my opinion, better than Bull Moose Teddy's, because it just lets you steamroll everyone in sight. And that civ is going to be Batrio of Vietnam. Now hear me out for a second, alright? Drive Out the Aggressors is absolutely sensational. Should have probably been the civ ability, considering that Vietnam's been whipping American, Chinese, Mongolian ass since day one. You can say whatever you want about Vietnam. They do not discriminate. The least racist society in the world, in my opinion. Everybody gets their ass kicked equally. But it's going to be in Batrio's leader ability list, so we'll treat it as a leader ability. 5 combat strength for units fighting in rainforest, marsh, or woods tiles. That right there is good enough to be top 5. With that, you are going to be able to use rough terrain as an impenetrable defense, or even get an advantage when attacking into the rough terrain, because they only get +4 defense, when defending on rainforests or woods. And if you're attacking into a marsh, that is +8 combat strength. That is, wow, that's insane. And they also gain 1 movement if they begin their turn on any of those 3 tiles. Not only that, and here's what puts it as the number 1 leader ability, both of these bonuses are doubled if the tile is in your territory. Most civs are playing Civilization 6, Batrio is playing Jumanji, welcome to the fucking jungle, motherfuckers, because that's exactly what's going to happen anytime anyone tries to attack you. You go ahead, you fortify on a forested hill, and you're going to be wiping out musketmen with warriors as long as they have the battle cry promotion. And if they try to, defend themselves, not do any suicidal charges akin to the Civil War in the United States type of attacks, and just defend in their own rough terrain, you are going to be getting 10 combat strength on those tiles, meaning they could be fortified on a forested hill, hoplites with adjacent hoplites everywhere. You're still winning that fight. And with the 2 movement speed, your mobility is going to be incredible. This makes her, unironically, one of the better domination civs in the entire game. Probably should have put her in the domination tier list, especially with the extremely strong voice Xian crossbowmen on an already super strong unit. But with Drive Out the Aggressors, the best thing you can do is to bait them. That's right, if you are a master baiter like myself, you will be able to have no units, maybe build units until there's 1 turn left in your cities, and have literally 0 army. The AI's monkey brain is going to go, they have no units, let me go raffle stomp them a little bit. They're going to be walking into your territory, 5 turns later, they're going to be walking, they're not going to be walking out, because they're all going to be sent to a goddamn Juice WRLD live concert at that point. They're all going to be dead. In any case, after that, you can go out after wiping out their advance force and take free cities for yourself, or better yet, pillage everything, make peace with them for a super favorable peace deal, wait 10 turns, and then attack them again. That's just how amazing Vietnam is, and with her insane defensive bonuses, you really don't have to focus on defense too much, because again, 1 archer is probably going to be enough, especially with the garrison promotion. That's 20 combat strength when firing into a forest, 23 when firing into a marsh, which is absolutely insane. 1 archer is probably enough to just defend a whole deity AI invasion force. If you are going to play Civilization 6 on the higher difficulties for the first time, I recommend Vietnam, mainly because a lot of the times the thing that makes deity harder in Immortal and Emperor, to whatever difficulty you're trying to go through, the biggest thing is that the enemy will come out with a massive military, getting ready to just absolutely tear your ass cheeks into just chicken wings at that point, cannibalism a little bit. And with that, you are going to prevent your own cheeks from being cannibalized with the +10 combat strength when defending in your territory, making it so that you really don't need to focus on military too much, and you can actually progress through the game without losing your capital in the first 10 turns. In any case, that is going to be it. Let me know down below in the comments if you want me to do top 10 civ abilities, abilities, unique units, districts, all that kind of stuff. And also, if you want me to do a top 5, I guess, easiest leaders to play in Civ 6, I don't know. Just follow the Discord as well. It's going to be linked in the pinned comment down below. And like and subscribe if you do enjoy. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.